Hello, everybody. I wanted to jump on here and do a quick little training session about systems. Of course, if you followed me at all, you know that I'm all about systems for your business. If you're trying to truly grow a business, you need systems so that you can scale and most of all have a sustainable business. So what I wanted to teach you today or chat about today is what systems do you I guess I should say, what systems are the must-haves for your business if you want to really have a streamlined environment? Now, you know that in order to grow your business, there's so many balls in the air. There's just so many things that you're trying to do. Systems, when you implement systems in your business, that helps you so that you can simplify things. It will reduce decision fatigue. It will just keep your sanity as you're trying to work in your business. And so systems will help you simplify your workflow. It makes sure that when you have good systems in place that you never miss an important task again. I mean, the list can go on and on. So I just want to talk about today the top 5 systems that I implement in my business. Now, there's all kinds of tools that you can use, but the key is to identify those areas in your business where you can create some systems. Now, there's a lot of tools out there that you can use, and I'll talk about those in a few minutes. But if you're just starting out, there's a lot of ways that you can just manually do this. So system number 1 is when you're creating leads, you need a good lead management system. Now, you might have heard the expression a CRM. That's just a fancy acronym for customer or client relationship management system, a CRM. In other words, it's all about collecting those emails, collecting those potential leads, people that have raised their hand and they've said, yes, they want your freebie, or yes, they're interested. So when you get all of that information, those people's contact information, their email, whatever it is, you need a way of managing that. So your lead management system. Now, if you're just starting out, just use a spreadsheet. You could use Google Sheets or use Excel. You don't have to be fancy about it. You don't have to spend a lot of time and money. You could just even do a Word document. But the key is start collecting as soon as you can. They always say that the gold is in the emails. So you want to, regardless of where you're at in your business, you want to start collecting those emails. And again, if you're just first starting out in your business, don't stress about trying to get all of these fancy tools and all of that kind of stuff. Just collect it. And again, a spreadsheet is probably the easiest way to collect those, all of those leads coming in. Now, me personally, I use an all-in-one system called Kartra. Absolutely love Kartra. My background is in IT. I've tested a lot of different ones, but Kartra to me, hands down, is the best one to use. So that works as my lead management system. Also, some of the other systems I'm going to talk about. But again, starting out, you don't have to even pay money. Just come up with something. And again, the key is create a system. How are you going to collect those names and emails? Even if it's as simple as people joining your Facebook group, have a system in place so that you're collecting that information. So that's number 1, and that's most important. The second system is you need some kind of an email nurturing system. So what that means is people have raised their hand, they're interested, and then you need to start loving on them. You need to start nurturing them. Well, how do you do that? By sending emails. So once again, the best thing to do is to have a system that will send out those sequences automatically for you. Now, again, if you're starting out, there's a couple of programs like MailChimp, MailerLite. I think both of those have free versions. They have email sequencing built into it, so pretty easy to use. Again, I use Kartra. That's an all-in-one product, and it just works great. Now, this system with your email nurturing, what you want is, the key is when you get somebody into your funnel, so to speak, you want to be able to just start sending them some emails. It might be, I don't know, once a week, once a month, but you want some kind of a system where at least your name is getting out there. And depending on what system you use, you can get a little more advanced because you can start tagging them. You can start segmenting. So you might have all of your emails of people that are in your Facebook group. So you would tag them so that you know that they're in your Facebook group. You might have people that have downloaded one of your freebies, so you could tag them so you would know which freebie that they got. Now, not all systems are created equal. If you're out shopping to buy a system, an email nurturing system, you want to look at the deliverability. So what that means is the mail police, so to speak, the email police, when they deliver that email, is it ending up in your spam folder? Is it even getting delivered? There's so many like gatekeepers out there. So if you're actually paying money for an email nurturing system, you want to make sure that it has what they call a high deliverability rate. So hopefully that makes sense. And then you also, especially if you're paying for it, you want some kind of a way so that you can check the analytics. And so the analytics is, again, each system is a little different. Again, I use Kartra. With Kartra, I can dig way in and I can see who's opened the email, who's clicked on certain links. If I have a video, I can check and see who watched the video, how far did they watch the video. And then I could implement those tagging systems and repurpose some content. So if something got sent to somebody and they didn't see it, they didn't open it, then I could retarget them. So there's all kinds of things you could do. But again, starting out, just create some system so that you've got the leads and then you're nurturing those emails. Then the third system that is really important to have is a calendaring system. So, and again, there's a lot of free systems out there. I mean, I won't go into all of the systems, but you want to, especially if you're in the business of coaching, you want to be able to just offer your calendar link. So if somebody says, yes, I would love to talk to you, you don't want to play phone tag. You just want to give them a link and they can look at your calendar, see what days you've slotted as open or available. Excuse me, then they can just click on it and they're good to go. Again, I use Kartra because it's an all-in-one system, but there's lots of programs out there. And the key is you just want to be able to link it to your own, like your Google Calendar, so that if you've blocked off, your personal time or whatever, that you're not going to have any conflicts. Most of the calendaring systems out there are very easy to set up. So, don't stress too much. And again, there's a lot of systems out there that are free, and then, they have like a tiered service. But the key is get started. So that's the third main system that I recommend. And then the fourth system that I talk about, and if you've watched any of my other videos, is a system to manage your clients. And again, you don't have to spend money on this. You could use Trello or Asana. It works great. So basically, you just want to create a foundation or a system so that when you're working with your clients, you've created that system, you know, it's like clockwork. Okay, they sign the contracts, and then here are the URLs that they need. This is the information they need to log in to the membership site or whatever it is. You've come up with like a template, basically. And so as you get a new client, you just make a copy of that template if you're using Trello or Asana, and you're good to go. You just add the personal information for that client, and you're off and running. Again, when I talk about systems, sometimes it's a application. Sometimes it's a manual system that you have sat down and thought through all of the processes. So then you're not recreating. You're not having to stop and think about it. You've made all of those decisions ahead of time. You know exactly when you get a new client, all of the steps involved, how you're going to onboard them, how you're going to wow them, all the way to the end of getting testimonials, having a system in place for that, and offboarding them so that they will continue to be a raving fan. So again, talking about systems, the 5 top systems. So that really is like the 4th top system you should have. The 5th system, I just call it my workflow system. Now, there's a lot of pieces that fall into that. That's planning your perfect week. That's figuring out how you're going to manage your task and your projects. And again, I use Asana. You could use Trello. There's lots of different ways that you could do this, but you need a system so that you manage your workflow. I always, when I work with my clients, I drill it into their head that they are the CEO of their business. The business is not running them. They are the CEO. They are making the decisions. They are setting up their perfect system. So in the workflow, all kinds of things that would fall into that category. But again, you take the time to figure out these systems so that it makes sense in your business. And it kind of to dovetail off of that would be your inbox management. Do you have a system in place for how you manage your email? What I mean by that is, again, your email is a tool for you. It's not controlling you. So do you have a set time or times? Twice a day is sufficient to check your email and respond to it. When you get into your inbox, you're there for one purpose. You're working. Let's say you've set aside 30 minutes. You take care of that and you move forward. So again, there's all kinds of systems behind the scene. And I actually have a little freebie course, Inbox to Zero, that teaches you a system to get your inbox to zero and to keep it that way. And it teaches you this system of managing your email. So again, systems. So those are like the 5 top. And then just some other systems to think about. Again, as you're setting up your business, as you're running your business as a CEO, there's certain back office systems or back office setups that I like to call it. So do you have a system in place for how you name your files and a system in place of where you save your files? Which files get uploaded to the cloud? Which ones are locally? Do you have a system in place for backing up your files? What about passwords? Do you have a system in place so that every time you're forced to create yet another new password, a super simple system, then you never have to think about how to name your passwords, how to create your passwords. I'm kind of jumping ahead because I have an online course called Productivity Program for Entrepreneurs, and we have a whole section in there about how to create strong, powerful passwords, but with a really slick system so you'll never forget what those passwords are. Do you, again, going down this path of different systems, do you have a training system in place so that when you do bring on a VA or hire a team member, that training system, it's not a burden. All of a sudden, you want to bring on somebody, but it just feels so overwhelming because you don't even know where to start to train them. But if you create this training system, then it's a piece of cake. It's really easy. Other systems I could talk about is, do you have a system for creating your social media content? Do you have a system for creating templates so it's super easy to create that content? How about if you're creating an online course or online membership site? Do you have a system in place? So basically then it's just plug and play. So I could go on because I love systems, and it's not a scary thing. Systems is just recognizing a pattern, refining that pattern so that that pattern works for you, that you're in charge. And then once you start building these systems, you'll see so many places in your business that you can implement these systems. And the beauty of it is systems allow you to grow your business and to create a sustainable business so that you're no longer working 12, 16 hours a day. You're no longer running around like crazy trying to pick up all of the balls that you've dropped. You're no longer stressing about, did I forget to do X, Y, and Z? When you have these systems in place, you've identified different templates and you've put these processes in place, then it is so easy to automate all of these steps in your business. So again, just wanted to talk about the top systems that you really need in your business. If you want to know more, I do have a free download. I'll put it in the comments. And it just talks about how you can create systems. So it just kind of walks through that mindset of what you need to do to actually create those systems. And if you feel like your business is in a mess and you need some help just identifying maybe how you could implement some systems, then send me a private message or let's get on the phone together and let me see if I can help you with that. So I hope that was beneficial. Again, just a quick recap, the top 5 systems you really need is some kind of a lead management CRM to manage all of those leads you're getting, an email nurturing system, some kind of a calendaring system, client management system. Once you get those clients, what system do you have in place? How are you managing that whole process? And then kind of the back end of your business, the whole workflow, task management. What systems do you have in place? So I hope this was helpful. Hope you have a terrific day, and I will see you in the next video.